How's it going, guys? So, getting these recordings in now so that I can have them all rendered up like that. End up spraining my goddamn wrist if you've been catching up on my media from shoveling snow. And got more days lined up to shovel more snow with a sprained wrist. Did that yesterday for 4 goddamn hours. Not fun. So, basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking on the Forgotten Tower. Nothing really too much has changed. I grinded a few levels, so we're level 13 now. Couple charms, nothing really too dramatic. Changed out the armor. That's really about it. Let's see what it is. Crap, I don't have my goddamn timer on me. Let's see. 3, 2, 12. We'll figure it out. Pretty sure I got my times right, but we'll figure it out. So it's like trying to lift anything or trying to do anything with my goddamn left hand, and I have it in a brace. It's just never get a sprained wrist. I know broken wrist is even worse, but you know, trying to do anything is like goddamn impossible. Oh yeah, we also have wait till all the damn enemies are dead here. We now have fireballs, so we got 2 points into that. So let's see. And this is only like half of the storm is coming, so the other half of the storm is supposed to be this week. So I'll see how videos will go. If the snow's not too bad, you know, we should be on just same schedule. It's just I have to worry about power outages, and we've already had one already. So, you know, I always will try to keep you guys updated when I can. But if we do Among Us, I have one of my friends that'll probably be joining me in doing that. So, but we'll have to see on that one. So, and seen on the Twitter, I guess Los Angeles is getting snow now. It's like, that's interesting. It's like a little too far south for getting snow. Hell, I don't even remember it ever snowing in Los Angeles. Chip Topaz, thank you very much. But unlocking the Forgotten Tower will allow us to grind and hopefully get the runes that we need. We need a Tal, Eth, or Eth, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah. Those archers still hit pretty damn hard. Ooh, a rare ring. I will also be doing like an item collab of like really good items, like either offshore grinding or some crap like that, you know. So if it's like if I think it's a good enough item, then I'll definitely put it into the video to like pop up on the screen, or I might put like the end of the video to show you some of the items that we got that I either kept or just sold or you know whatnot. Oh, speaking of that, well, speaking of this already, that's a good item. Fast cast rate, and it has magifying. We have this one, which is faster cast rate, 5% magifying. And this one I had in my inventory, I didn't even know I even had. You know, 7% that too. So, yeah, that's getting replaced. Nice. And it has that poison resistance too, which is going to come in really handy against Scenario. Awesome. And a faster cast rate. The game loves me right now. So we're up to like, what, 30 FCR now? That's going to be really good. Kind of slow for a teleport, but it'll be decent for our fireballs and stuff like that, so. The game loves its goddamn archers, I swear. And you might hear my heater in the background even through the music that I usually have playing. It's been so goddamn cold in my room, trying to keep it warmed up, and being stuck outside shoveling snow for a good portion of the day, it's like, you want to try to stay warm. Alright. I think what's the highest rune you can get in normal is a Ral rune, I think, which is like level 19. And I think in Nightmare it's an rune, which is like 25, and an Ist rune, which I think is 25 or 27 in Hell difficulty. So, I mean, I wouldn't be upset about getting a Ral rune, but it wouldn't exactly help me out unless I plan to make Leaf, which requires a two sock and a staff. Oh, you get my level 2. The only person you closing off is you, because you ain't getting away. Okay, I'm not upset about that. Usually an Eth rune is usually kind of hard to get. And we got an Eld rune, which is good against the undead, so, or stamina if you're actually really low on that, so. Not too upset about that, actually. This is one of the nicest things about Diablo 3 is automatically having gold pickup. You know, you don't have to just continuously click spam picking it up, so. And speaking of games, I know was it the Backroom game just dropped? I watched one of the fellow Twitch streamers play a little bit of that. It's the new horror game that's came out today. It looks okay. And I know Sons of the Forest dropped, I think, like a couple days ago or yesterday or whatnot. I watched all of the original Forest. I owned the actual game itself back in the day when I can actually run it. It's an okay game, I guess. You know, I never actually beat it, but I watched people actually finish it up and stuff like that, so. And a grand charm. And I know there's that, and then there's the, what's it, Wulong game? Which I think is like, supposed to be like another Dark Souls-esque type of game. Didn't really watch too much of that. I know there was Wild Hearts, or whatever the hell it was called, was the like Monster Hunter-esque looking game. That it's like no, I just don't care for that game whatsoever. That's one of my problems I ever had with Monster Hunters. Like it's a game I could probably get into, but my only gripe about it is that I like when you go against a boss, it actually shows bosses, you know, like health bars, so you can see how long you have and how much health the boss has, so with that, not having to just spend like an hour on a boss and only realizing you're only halfway through. You know, I do not like games like that. And there was one other game, I think it looked, from what I could tell from the thumbnail, it was like an automaton type of game. It was like Automatic Hearts or something like that. That's one of the other newer ones I've seen that drop too. Haven't got a chance to look into that one yet. Okay, 15 attack rate to dexterity, the lightning resistance, and poison. Alright. It's actually better than my gloves, so I'll take them. Is that 2 to 1? More faster hit recovery. Faster hit recovery is basically when you get hit. It's usually for like more so like physical attackers, so like paladins, barbarians, assassins, werewolf druids, like that. So when you get hit, it gives you a certain percentage back of how quickly you can actually re-heal from that hit. As for sorceress wise, you know, you're not really going physical with a sorceress, you know, unless you plan to use something up close or the enemies get really up close to you. It may make a difference, but you know, I've yet to see anyone say, you know what, today on our playthrough we're gonna do a physical sorceress, because it ain't happening. It is possible to do a physical sorceress if you're using something like enchant or whatever the hell it's called. Let me put these gems in here real quick now. Explain what I'm talking about. Is this? Yeah, enchant, which basically gives you a certain amount of fire damage and a certain amount of attack bonus. It is possible to do a physical sorceress. I would say that you'd have to put points into enchant, just because it gives you that extra damage. I mean, at a decent enchant with like maybe half to maybe full gear, you can maybe do about 4k fire damage. You're pretty much screwing yourself over if you actually do that in hell difficulty and somewhat of nightmare, because of enemies being actually immune to fire. I would suggest probably go with energy shields, probably with thunderstorm, because it'll give you that little extra bonus damage. The energy shield, you know, it'll zap your mana, but it'll save you taking from any extra physical damage. And of course you get your cold spells here, so it gives you that extra defense. So yeah, it is probably possible to make a physical sorceress, but I would highly would not recommend doing it unless you want like a really big challenge, because you know that'd be difficult as shit to do, you know. Even then, you'd have to decide whether or not you're going to use a one-handed weapon or if you're going to use a two-handed weapon, because the way the sorceress is already built, she's already squishy enough. You know, the problem with that is that if you do a two-handed weapon, you know, you're going to have to really load up on your gear and any health regen so that you can actually get through charms, through your armor, you know, just to stay alive. And at least have an Act 2 mercenary that has defense that helps you out a bit. And if you choose a one-handed one, you know, yeah, you'll have the shield with that extra defense and block, but you know, you're gonna be lacking the damage, so it's gonna take you actually longer, you know. So I don't know, choice option. But I know that once we get to Indariel, when we finally beat her, I'm definitely farming her up. Tomato Highlands, you know, not really an area that you really want to grind in, you know, mostly just because it has these annoying little turds in them, just continuously poking out. Occasionally you may actually get some uniques. It's more of a pain in the ass in nightmare difficulty, because there's a lot of lightning immunes, and especially since spear women hit extremely hard, you know, if you're playing a squishy character. So. But I believe it also has one of the best areas to actually magic find too. It's like the cave or the hole or whatever the hell it's called, or the pit or something like that. It's one of the ones. I think it's like max levels like 98 or something like that for magic find. So a lot of Hammerdins or Bliss sorceresses and stuff like that will actually go in there, because I'm pretty sure you're going to go against skeletons. They're going to be immune to poison. These guys are going to be immune to lightning. You have your shamans and your fallens are going to be immune to fire. I think it's maybe a rarity if there's ever anything that's actually immune to cold in that area. You know, some people will use a summer necromancer, you know, to go in there. A little slower to magic find with necromancer, but you tend to stay alive a little longer. Yeah, like what, 6 minutes left, I think. And I might be doing these videos like back to back, so consider that I'm not doing Diablo videos on Mondays, since you guys see this on Tuesday and Wednesday, so get all my videos ahead of schedule, just in case the power goes out. and that frost nova comes in real handy right there. I mean, you have to get pretty close to zapping them, and that's one of the reasons why most people. Oh, hello. Most people don't do a Nova Sorceress, because the Sorceress has to get up close, and even with teleport, you make one wrong click of your mouse and it's like game over. You know, they will annihilate your Sorceress. It don't matter how much damage you have. You know, I think it was like a decent Lightning Sorceress can top out what, 50, maybe 60,000 damage if you have like an Annulus and Source Charms. Along with a Griffin's, I would say Fortitude. Some people might run Enigma, even though Enigma does have a teleport, which is useless on the Sorcerers. Hodo, Spirits, and T-Gods, which is interesting considering the T-Gods is actually made for a Amazon, but it does lightning damage, or it gives a boost to lightning damage spells, so you can run that, and then they'll run like Travancoles, I think it is, which gives you a certain amount of Magifying for that, just that Magifying boost. Otherwise, play anything that's going to give you any elemental resistances. Use Stone Skin. Of course I'm not, man. You never know, man. And then whatever rings, I'm pretty sure most people will run some like Mara's or something like that for that elemental resistances, and I think gives like 2 to skills. And for rings, or that's for the amulet. For rings, they'll probably run some like Sojo, you know, which is basically short for Stoner Jordan. So he's always hiding around this one corner over here, trying to get in here to get him so I get his ass dead. Sir, you ain't living. Yeah, you did. And perfect time because we have like 2 minutes left. We got garbage. Warmth, which is just gonna get sold. For Sorceress, I would always keep an eye open for any orbs, because you can't actually buy them from any merchants, and you can't gamble them either. So definitely save. You have still have your imbue. Save for any orb that's going to be like really good, you know, or you think that might have potential. So, because if you put it on like a staff or some armor or something like that, it might help out in the short distance, but in the long run, it's just gonna get replaced anyway. So. Alright, but either way, hope you guys have been staying safe, healthy, and sanitized. Hope you don't have to deal with snow like I'm having to deal with, which is like 2 to 3 feet of snow. And make sure to drop a like, think about subscribing, leave comments below, and I'll make sure to check them all out. See you guys.